Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another CSGO video. Today with the last and final version of 3kliksphilip community made Dust 2 remake in anticipation of the real one. Now keep in mind, this is mainly just for gameplay purposes, so there might be some visuals being slightly off and stuff like that, and this is also the third iteration, so if you haven't checked out the previous ones, watch them first, because this time around I also checked out his video prior to actually playing on the map, so now that I completely know what we're getting into in comparison to more of a like first review, first impression kind of video, which the last two were, so I'll link them in the description down below, because I will not repeat what I said in those two already. So let's start out with the left side. So obviously the first thing that you notice right off the bat is that this area has been cramped in, and I think this doesn't really change anything. It makes me a little claustrophobic, but I think that's just because I'm used to having more space right here, but then again, you don't really need that space. And right here was always kind of a weird spot for hiding, and this remained kind of the same, but I don't mind it. I think it's pretty okay like that. I think you could probably, if you come around, see someone hiding in here just by the little crack in there. And again, also if the other guy moves in all the way like that, you probably will be able to see him, but I think this will be kind of a noob spot, like a last resort. I don't think he did change anything in tunnels, so I still think that's kind of cool, but let's actually go towards B now. So the first thing that you probably notice is right here, this crate, which will offer you a couple of more gameplay possibilities. Mainly just in order to have a little bit more protection, because usually right here in tunnel area you're usually, well, pretty much out of the open, since, I mean, you got the pillar, and if you're back here, I mean, no one is ever playing behind these boxes but up on the stairs sometimes. So you now have, like, to addition to the pillar, also the box right here, which again can be very helpful, so like that you can hide behind it completely, go for surprise kill or something like that, so that could make for interesting gameplay mechanics. I also think this doesn't really cramp it up, so I'm a fan of the box, to be honest. Now if we move on towards B, you can see the doors, like their orientation has been changed. Usually this one goes like this and this one like this. Now this is how the doors were in 1.6. And this is also something I prefer a lot, as he also said it in his video. When you're coming in now, it's much easier or more consistent, in my opinion, to clear like the side. You can come in here, see someone is there, go here around here, check this spot, go on further, and then only at this point someone might be hiding right here, which makes it a little tricky. But usually, if you come out here, you cannot check all these kind of spots, so it's a lot dangerous. So I think since retaking B is already incredibly hard, I like this change a lot. It doesn't really make it overpowered or anything, but I think it adds more to the gameplay mechanics. Also, he changed the wall to this little ramp right here. Personally, I don't really mind it. Like, I actually, to be honest, think that the jump right here is not really a skill jump, since it is so easy. So I don't really mind having it replaced with this little ramp, since it's only all the way at the back. What I see now is like allowing people for different kind of tactics. Like, you cannot boost up here at the back anymore, so you have to get a little bit more like in front. But just for the majority, I don't think this really does change anything at all, to be fair. So yeah, don't really have a set opinion on this piece. I still like the car, however. Alrighty, so now let's move into lower tunnels. So one of the biggest changes, in my opinion, is this little box right here. So you can now, instead of having to boost up onto this side and being afraid to fall off like that, you can go all the way back here on this box, just stay here and then play for the cat area. I think this is extremely strong. I'm not sure if this might be actually too strong, because like the thing is, you usually had to kind of balance it out. If you would be going all the way to the side or like whatever, you're kind of a little bit exposed right here. If you have more on this side, it's easier and faster for you to fall back behind these boxes, which again could make a difference just from gunfight point of view, since you already get a better and clearer shot from this position. So I like this change, especially if I would be playing from there. However, I'm not sure if it's super awesome to play against it. I mean, you still probably have more options right here on cats, so yeah, I think you probably would have to gameplay test that in order to properly find out how this is actually going to turn out in actual gameplay. Now let's walk over to CT spawn and to our 5 friends right here. So this also has been added. You guys know previously you had just like the pathway right here, kind of a hallway, and you could just cross here without using these kind of boxes because they weren't there in the last build, meaning that you never had to cross the dangerous route. And this is something that I critiqued also in the last version, that you should either have like the spawn switch or just make it go all the way in the back or something like that. So this is actually the safe spot. You should be not rewarded for taking it. Like, this is pretty much the same amount of time you would need for both in the last version. And he fixed this now by actually having to jump up. And then this, again, being a one-way, meaning you cannot jump up right here again without a boost. So if you're falling back, if you're holding from right here mid, which probably you should not be doing, and you're falling back to this spot, you're kind of in a bad position. Of course, if you have a guy right there, you can set up a crossfire, which is also kind of nice, but just in general, this probably gets rid of a little bit of the problems of having the safe route being just as fast as the risky one, and again, the risky one then not adding any more benefits. So this is something that I like, just from the way he did it, but I said that he did it, but I would have preferred to have just a longer way or change the orientation of the spawn little bit so that the risky way is always the faster one, and the safer one takes always like more time to get through. Now in the last build we also had not this, but a barrel right here, which would allow you to actually get up onto the side. Now this was heavily critiqued because this is like the bad thing usually if you're coming up this ramp right here. You're kind of out in the open. You can be shot from here, 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 there, pretty much everywhere. Like, that's why it's so annoying to get up here. Now, if you got this barrel and you, like, know the kukli shots right here, many people do that. Now, if you get the barrel right here, you never have to actually go around to this side, up onto this box, and then onto the side. This will also, again, in the last build, made it faster to defuse the bomb and stuff like that. So I can see, like, he made it so it's not as annoying to get up here, but it does change the map quite a bit to have this barrel right here. Now, this is quite a different change, since you now have a tunnel below here that is actually allowing you to get in from behind, which again could also make some interesting strategies if you actually would be able to sneak around all the way and you see someone just still holding right here. You also removed the little pipe. This definitely could make for some interesting variations. I'm not completely sure, like, you'd probably be holding from here as well. And I mean, it's easy to nade off, to molly off, to smoke off and stuff like that, but still something that will lead toward the back of the defenders actually. And if you're kind of here, it's very hard to defend if you're watching out for that spot, and that spot. So I think from this point of view, he probably turned it around. Previously, it always was kind of annoying to get up here because you had all these spots, but then again now, if you're defending, it's kind of the same kind of, I don't know, like story. You gotta defend this spot, this spot, this spot. Like, it probably negates itself in a way. I'm not sure if this changes too much of the flair, like of the original spirit of the map. I think it's an interesting idea, and I always love seeing interesting ideas like that. He still didn't open up long, by the way, in case you were wondering. But I think this could add for some interesting gameplay mechanics, just for a viewer, but I think for a player, it just makes it even more stressful to have this additional option. Like, I mean, it's just like, you gotta come up here, check all these spots. If you're coming here, you always have to check if someone is looking from here, otherwise, like, you know, could be risky, but then again, you would have to be very far down or crouch, so he would be kind of exposed or stationary as well, so he would not have a super OP spot because, like, you guys could only see each other's legs. So that's kind of an interesting thing as well. So to wrap it all up, I think this once again is a very interesting version. I'm not sure if I do prefer the last one. Something that I do not quite understand is, like, again, I think this kind of betters or improves the noob hiding spot right here, but it just, again, it's probably just because I'm used to a different version, but it feels a little claustrophobic. And then I think in the middle we did not have, yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, again, this part I'm fine with, don't really have a strong opinion on it. I really like the box. Again, I also don't have, like, a real proper opinion. I don't think, like, when I say I don't have a proper opinion, I mean that it doesn't really change the gameplay in a majorly effective way, like, from a balance point of view. I like the doors a lot more. I think this balances out the map a little more, and that's why I like it. I still think this huge thingy is a little out of place, but since it now has a proper, like, secondary purpose with a penalty so that you're not as fast as with the risky route, I do like it a lot more, but I, again, would have made the way a little further. And then this one is probably the big no-no for many people if they're watching this and they're saying, oh my god, it's so bad and stuff like that. But I mean, again, it doesn't really give too much advantage to just one side, since it can be used in both ways. It might be too many, however. Like, if you ever played one of the new Call of Duties, you can always be, like, attacked from every side. And usually in CS, you kind of got your angles. Like, I'm watching this right here, can snap right here, or maybe too long, or some would be jumping up there. So you have your sense in a way that you're always prepared for your active field of view instead of right behind you. Of course, you can do that, but that's not kind of the way CS plays for the most part. So again, I think for the majority, this was a very interesting map. As I said before, don't really have a strong opinion on many things. This might be too strong, I'm not too sure about that, since you are faster at the cover now and can shoot more accurately, but like, that's up to you guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, I think that's all for now, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.